Hello and welcome to The Family Show. I'm your host, Eleanor Rawson, and joining me this week and every week, I'm so happy to say, Brenda and Randy Lee. So good to be with you.
Good to see you.
Everything's getting green outside. Have you noticed that?
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm getting garden fever.
I am too. Just the color, just a little daffodil just makes such a difference in this part of the world.
Been a long, long winter.
A long winter. Kind of like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh.
Funny you would mention that.
That's what we're talking about today, right?
So, well, actually we are, surprisingly enough. So over the weekend, I'm at this Irish session at an Irish pub out past Lebanon. Just a lot of talented Irish musicians playing traditional tunes. My friend Nelson Martin was there. We've talked about Nelson and his wife Elaine on the show before. Elaine lost a struggle with cancer a while back, or I think probably better to say that she transcended that struggle. Incredible story, incredible person. But anyway, Nelson and his family were there playing. 4 of our kids were there. And as I was listening at this session, I meet this young guy who tells me this amazing story about his journey through the roller coasters at Knoebels Amusement Resort, right?
Oh, I love Knoebels. Okay.
Knoebels is, in fact, the largest free admission park in the United States. You probably already knew that, right? Has 6 roller coasters. So this guy is out at Knoebels one afternoon with his buddies, and they're doing the rides. Okay, what are we going to do next? And one of his buddies goes, hey, let's jump on that coaster, right? Short line, whatever. And this guy who's talking to me is like, that's cool. You guys go ahead. I'll wait for you here.
That would be me. Yeah.
Right. And all his buddies are like, well, why would you wait here? And the guy's like, because I don't do roller coasters.
Right.
And they're all like, what do you mean you don't do roller coasters? The guy's like, I don't ride them, can't ride them, no interest in riding them, ups, downs, turns, speed, can't do it, no interest. They're all like, no, this is life. You cannot go to Knoebels and watch us ride roller coasters. You got to come with us. Guy's like, no, I'm not doing it. So suddenly the point of the day ceases to be seeing how many rides they can all get on, right? The new point of the day is to get this guy on one roller coaster, right? So these guys, they're going all over the park, checking out all the roller coasters. You know, what's wrong with this one? What's wrong with that one? They're trying to figure out the one roller coaster that this guy will find the least offensive, right? They finally do get this guy on one roller coaster. He survives. So now the goal for this group of guys is to get this guy on every coaster at Knoebels.
Oh, brother.
Right? Well, that becomes a project that extends many days, many trips, much planning, encouragement, experimentation. Gradually, little by little, they get this guy on 5 of the 6 coasters, but there's one left. Giant coaster with a corkscrew, right? So you go through the corkscrew. It's not just up and down. It's right side up, upside down, right side up, upside down, right? Guy's like to his buddy, you've been great. Open the door for me for my life. I do coasters now, but I will not do that one.
I'm with him.
I need to keep my upside up and my downside down.
Right.
I don't do corkscrews. Well, guess what? A lot of people do not know this, but there is a celestial, eternal, divine, whatever it is, law. Once you've done 5 coasters at a park, you got to do the 6th, right? You cannot refuse to do that 6th roller coaster, right? So these guys pack up their buddy. They put him in line. They pour him into a seat. Now, on this coaster, they don't just pull the lap bar down over you, right? You are strapped in.
Oh, yeah.
Belted in, lap barred in. You would think you were headed to the International Space Station.
Right.
Right? none of which calms any of this guy's concerns. Quite the contrary.
Right.
If you need this much protection, it cannot be saved. Right? That's where his head's at. Right? Ride gets started. This guy is not just holding on to the grab bar. His fingers are indented into the grab bar, right? Everyone else on the ride is throwing their arms up in the air.
Sounds like teaching my kids to drive.
Same premise, Brent. Same premise. Exactly right. Everybody else throwing their arms up in the air. You cannot peel this guy's fingers off the bar, kind of like Brenda with his fingers and her fingers in the dashboard, right? He does not dare to open his eyes, right? Whole ride. They get back to the platform of the ride, and this guy's first statement is, when do we go to Hershey Park and see what coasters they've got going on?
Get out.
Total conversion, right? And as I'm listening to this guy's story, right, I realize our life is a journey through the Knoebels roller coasters. Right?
Only Randy would see that.
Right?
Exactly.
Think about it. Stay with me, right? During our life, we are learning to trust so we can be free. Free to ride the roller coasters, free to open our eyes, free to let go of the grab bar, free to raise our arms in the sky, right? We are seeking freedom so we can love, as Father McAllister over at Holy Name Parish says. We are seeking freedom so we can surrender our life, give our life over to God, right? Trust is a source of freedom.
Yeah.
And freedom is a necessity of love. Trust is a source of freedom, and freedom is a necessity of love. You think of Michelangelo's painting on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, right? A lot of people don't know about that being about roller coasters, but you look carefully, you'll see, right? You think of Michelangelo's painting on the ceiling of Sistine Chapel, and you've got God stretching out his hand, straining so much to reach us that the angels have to hold on to God so he doesn't fall out of heaven, right? And then you've got us clinging to the grab bar.
Yeah.
Right? Our hands aren't sticking up there trying to meet his. We're clinging to that grab bar.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because we live in a world that doesn't just throw us up and down, side to side.
Yeah.
Our world literally is spinning us upside down, right side up, and upside down.
Yeah.
Right? You're going so many.
It feels like there's, especially in these days, there is no grab bar. I mean, I would say the church, but I mean, otherwise, it's like, it just feels like we're being tossed to and fro.
Exactly, Eleanor. We are in a time, we're in a place, you're going so many places you're sure you don't want to be, that you're afraid to open your eyes, right?
Yeah.
You just want to stay on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But God didn't make you for the ground. He made you to embrace him in the sky. Right? And we got to get that visual, right? What is this? It's transcending our fear of the roller coaster.
Yeah.
And surrendering to his love.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a sister-in-law who's a nurse, and, she knows a lot she digs into lots of, the whys of certain diseases and what can be done. And, she always wanted to, get to the point where can we control these? And I was talking to her last week, and her sister, who was completely healthy and was a dancer, came down with ALS just recently. And it's progressing so quickly. She's already in a wheelchair. And I talked to her last week, and she was like, I got to research this. I got to find, an alternative way. And it's so funny because we talked, and then this morning, she just texted me, and she said, I'm having such a God moment. It's overpowering, but it's telling me to be still and know that I am God.
Wow.
And, intellectually, my life, I have said that, but I've never really embraced it and lived it.
Yes.
And that's where we have to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of us struggle with that control.
Mhm.
We want to be safe. We want to know everything ahead of time.
Yeah.
We want to, we're so like, I didn't say antitrust, but in a sense, yes.
Yeah.
Because to do that is letting go, and letting go doesn't feel good, just like your friend on the roller coasters. I can relate to that because I know which roller coaster he went on first, that little baby one, and that's the only one I ride at Kenny Opals. I'm not changing. I know that it is
virtually.
but it's like we want to know, how does this happen? What do I do? We just grab onto that, and really, it's in those moments of need we need to say, like was it your sister's friend said, be still.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
I think you guys are just like so on, because, to go back to what Brenda said, we've got this, can we control this? That's the question we want. Can we control this? And guess what? The answer is no.
Yeah.
We can't. No. But God can.
Yes.
And we've got to trust in his love and trust that he will.
Yeah. Lord, what is your will in this? So hard for us to do, isn't it? For me, I can just say, I want all the facts. Give me all the data. Give me all, instead of saying, okay, Lord, show me the way. You show me. Anyway, he'll show us. But in the meantime, we have to take a break.
Oh, man.
We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to The Family Show on Holy Family Radio. So stay tuned.
People everywhere are finding the answers they need on the EWTN radio network.
Being incarcerated, it is wonderful to be able to tune in and enrich my faith through the powerful and soul-cleansing programs aired daily. It is a true blessing.
Find the answers you need on Holy Family Radio, WHYF AM 720.
We're back with The Family Show with Brenda and Randy Lee. And we were talking, and I guess we're still talking about roller coasters.
We were still talking about roller, and more specifically, right? Before the break, we were talking about whether you're free to let go of the grab bar on the roller coaster and reach up for God, whether we can even keep our eyes open on the ride, on the journey. And all of that brought to my mind the current Dynamic Catholic Lenten series. Dynamic Catholics running a Lenten series, best Lent ever. And this year it's 33 days of miracles. And at some point on that journey, Matthew Kelly asks the question, what is God's greatest miracle? Very intriguing question, right? So you got creation, you got resurrection, transfiguration, you got virgins having babies, you got feeding thousands on 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread, you've got healings from a distance, you got walking on water, huge catches of fish where there were no fish. How do you pick one miracle to be the greatest, right? How do you even compare them? It's kind of like apples and oranges, right? And Bishop Robert Barron had this really challenging observation recently. Bishop Barron said, none of these things that I've actually identified are actually God's greatest miracle. In fact, if you think any of these are God's greatest miracle, you're missing the point. In fact, none of these things are even miracles. All of these things are merely signs of God's greatest miracle. And God's greatest miracle is that he loves you and he always will, right? A love that profound, that unwavering is a miracle. We are so used to love failing. In our world, we are so used to love failing. The love of friends, the love of family members, the love of spouses, children, institutions falter, right?
Yeah.
We look around, we see divorce, disintegration, drifting apart, and we come to believe that's just the way love is, right? And the minute you come to believe that's how love is, you can't take your hands off the grab bar on the roller coaster.
Right.
Right? Lord, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be hurt. And I've seen this love thing, great in theory, but if I take my hands off that bar, I will be hurt, you know? But then you have Paul saying in 1 Corinthians 13, love never fails. His love, God's love, never fails, right? Never denies us, never forsakes us, never leaves us alone. All the things we think of as miracles, they're just intended to be signs, manifestations of his love.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not know why I fed them? Do you not know why I healed them? Do you not know why I visited them, empowered them? I did that so you would know my love will not fail you. My plan for them, my plan for you may be different, but it is the same love, and my love for you will not waver.
Notice he doesn't say you won't feel hurt at times, or you won't feel pain, or you won't. He doesn't say that. He just says, my love will not fail.
You will always be loved. That's what he said. You're exactly right, Eleanor. That's the promise. And that's what we gotta trust it. Matthias, I think Matthias is such a cool apostle. Most people don't even know Matthias was an apostle, right? Right? He was chosen by Lot to replace Judas. Right? Bible tells us two things about Matthias. He was chosen to replace Judas, and he was with Jesus from the beginning, from the get-go, from the start. He's there at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Andrew, Peter, James, John, boom, Matthias. He's there from the beginning, right? But there's no mention of him in any gospel. 3 years I walked with you, 4 gospels, and I don't even merit one mention. Talk about obscure, right? I wonder, as Jesus is selecting people, promoting people over Matthias along the way, if Matthias ever wondered, Lord, why is there no plan for me?
Mm-hmm.
No promotion, no miracle for me. Lord, I've been with you since the beginning. Lord, you picked Matthew, a tax collector, over me.
Right.
Right? You even picked Judas over me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? By the time it's time to fill Judas's slot, the apostles are all sitting around. They're trying to figure it out, right? Matthias is out in the kitchen doing the pots, right? There's nothing going on in the big room that could concern him, right? There are 3 obvious choices. You ever think about it? There are 3 obvious choices to fill Judas's vacancy, right? First, you got Lazarus. Jesus raised him from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's got a boatload of money.
Right.
You talk about an asset, right? Then you got Joseph of Arimathea. Guy gave up his tomb, right? He's buddies with Pilate, not a bad connection to have.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then you got Nicodemus.
Yeah.
The guy's on the Sanhedrin. He's a respected teacher. He's a scholar. Man, bring him into the 12. But who does God pick to fill the vacancy? Out of nowhere, God appoints Matthias. Matthias, did you really think that you were ever out of my sight, beyond my reach? Mm-hmm. Did you really think there was ever a moment I didn't have you in my plan.
Right.
Right? By the way, the point here is not you wait long enough, walk with Jesus long enough, you do ultimately get your reward.
Just remember, if you're first runner-up, you might have to step in and take the crown
at some point. Exactly. Right. The point is, God always has a plan. God always has a plot for your love story with him. No matter what it feels like, you are always at the center of God's heart.
It reminds me, I love the prodigal son, and I always seem to go back to that story. But there's the brother who is so ticked off, that the dad has the party for the wayward son. The father says to him, don't you know everything I have has been yours? I've loved you from the beginning. It's sort of the same thing that, we tend to be so petty, and we really need to realize that he loves us always, even, you know what I mean?
Eleanor, that's a great point, because you think of that parable, and it's so great, right? Because both of the sons see themselves as disconnected from the father.
Mm-hmm.
Both of the sons see themselves as disconnected to the father, and yet the father constantly throughout the parable has a plan for each son that is a manifestation of his love.
Yeah.
If the son that is apart, that father is always looking down the road for that son. That son who is by his side, that father always has a plan for that son, right? They may, quote unquote, feel disconnected.
Right.
But there is never a disconnection from that love.
And I think we need to remind each other, you know what? When we feel disconnected, and come on, we do. Mm-hmm. Like how many times a day sometimes, right? We have to, should go back, get and be still and realize, Lord, you know what? I don't understand your plan in this, but I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you.
I do understand that your love is present.
Yes.
Right? Pete Hamill over at the Christian Station 1230 had a long battle with cancer. And Pete would always say he was going to get a miracle. And he did, right? Wasn't necessarily the miracle that Peter saw, but through that whole thing, God loved and sustained Pete every day of that journey until the end, right? I mentioned earlier in the show, Elaine Martin, right? Mom and bass player of the Celtic Martin family band, right? The woman danced in the rain while she was battling cancer, right? Like Pete, Elaine embraced the real miracle without experiencing the sign, the manifestation. And Elaine trusted in that love that freed her hands and her heart to still love others, right? Sister Miriam Heidland offered this great question, prayer, whatever you want to call it. Lord, what do you want me to know about your love for me today? Right? Lord, what do you want me to know about your love for me today? I would never think to ask that, but what a great thing to ask for. Yeah. Lord, let me see your love for me today more clearly so I don't have to hold on so tightly.
Right.
Lord, I want to stop saying, I don't want to hurt anymore. And I want to pray for my heart to be like yours. Right? There's this great translation of Acts 2:47. Right? It's a reference to people coming into the early church. And most translations translate these people as those who were saved. But this one translation has it, those who were coming to life. Those who were coming to life. Lord, help me to embrace a love that will bring me to life.
Yes. Yeah. And, I'm just having this thought, like, wouldn't it be something to have that sort of that attitude, say, Lord, how do you want to bring me home? Right? I mean, what is our purpose here? Salvation of our souls, right? How do you want to bring me home? Right?
And Ellen, great point. And you stop for a minute and you go, so what is home, right? And home is his heart.
Yes.
Right? That we have lots of things that we may think home is. We talk about God bringing us home, but home is his heart.
Yes.
Lord, I want you to bring me into total immersion in your love. Right. And when I'm total immersion in that love, I can open my eyes.
You know,
I can throw up my arms.
Such a battle here because, you know, the world, everything wants to bring us away from that love.
It does.
You know, and say, here's something, and we have to fight every day to bring it back home.
Amen. Hey, guys, we're out of time. Oh, man. So quickly. But we invite all of our listeners to join us every Friday on AM 720 at 12:30 for the Family Show.
And keep us in your prayers.
For Brenda and Randy Lee, I'm Eleanor Rossman, and we leave you with the beautiful sound of Seasons.